Up next on CBC, there's a conflict brewing between people in two North Winnipeg neighborhoods. On one side, you have Rivergrove Mobile Home Estates, that's formerly known as the Northgate Trailer Park. On the other side is the neighborhood of Rivergrove. It has big single detached houses on quiet treed streets. Now, both of these areas are just off Main Street, and you can visualize this if you think close to the North Perimeter. Both communities are full of people who take pride in their homes and neighborhoods. But you're about to see some images on our VMix stream on YouTube this morning of what this has escalated into. So we're looking here at a sign that says, "Keep out." And now we're about to see some Canada Post boxes where there's graffiti scrawled all over them. The conflict has escalated into these accusations. There's also been some anonymous letters with threats. CBC's Jim Agapito went to the communities to find out what's going on, and he's in studio now. Good morning.
Good morning.
So describe, first of all, these two neighborhoods for us, Jim.
Well, I think many of us have a pretty stereotypical view of what a mobile home park looks like, but like a lot of stereotypes, reality is quite different. Rivergrove Mobile Home Estates has 157 modular houses of all shapes and sizes. Many sit on extremely well manicured and cared for yards. It's a tight-knit community with a community club, a riverside park, and a neighborhood watch. Now, the president of the park says one of the mobile homes there recently sold for $500,000, and the neighborhood of Rivergrove, which is beside it, is a lot like other suburban Winnipeg neighborhoods. Quiet winding streets, large houses with attached garages, big mature trees, and parks which butt up against the Red River. Now, in both places, I met friendly Winnipeggers who love their communities. Now, the two neighborhoods are separated by a small, narrow field and some fencing, and it's pretty easy to walk between the communities, but there are no roads between Rivergrove and the mobile home park, and that's one of the sources of conflict.
So tell me a little bit about what happened with the road.
Well, there were plans to extend Rivergrove Drive into the mobile home park. Now, the mobile home park residents wanted safer access to the nearby grocery store and strip mall, and right now, the only way to get out of their community is to make a left turn on Main Street at an uncontrolled intersection. And I don't have to tell you, how busy Main Street can get, and people there say it's dangerous. But for residents of Rivergrove, they didn't want to see an increase of traffic on the street because they thought it could impact the safety of the residents, and if it became a thoroughfare for the mobile park, that would happen. Now, the plans to extend Rivergrove Drive are currently up in the air, but there's a lot more going on than just that.
So what else is going on between these two communities?
Some of the people in Rivergrove Mobile Home Estates feel like they're not welcome in Rivergrove. So someone put up, a keep out sign in Rivergrove, which you saw, which is directed towards the people in the mobile home park. And some people, someone spray painted the mobile home park mailboxes with the term trailer trash.
So that's what it says, that image we saw there.
Yeah, and that really upset Joan Werman, a resident there.
The old saying, trailer trash. We're not worthy of anything, but we all have. I got a 1,675 square foot home. It's beautiful. We're supposed to be friends, we're supposed to be neighbors and look out for our fellow man, but it just isn't happening. Not with some people. I won't say everybody.
As I mentioned, there are some very nice parks along the river in Rivergrove, and people from the mobile home park like to walk their dogs over there. But some Rivergrove residents feel people from the mobile home park shouldn't be doing that. Here's an anonymous letter sent to Rivergrove Mobile Home Estate President Guido Sarasani. The letter says, "We are kindly telling you to keep your park people and their dogs out of the park and Rivergrove area. They are breaking the law and messing up a beautiful area, and they have been told. If you do not put a stop to this, action will be taken." And Guido was completely surprised.
But, when I opened it up, it basically was I can perceive it as a threat that, our tenants are somehow not supposed to use Rivergrove Drive. I don't believe that any of our tenants are the type that would throw their dog waste or not pick it up. So, and if they did, then, they should be dealt with as well. But I had one of my tenants about a week ago come up to me and tell me that she's, feels threatened walking down the street because there's a guy there telling her that she can't use the street and take her dog somewhere else.
I tried to talk to that person Guido mentioned, but she was scared of the person who told her not to use the street. She didn't want to be identified in any way. And Guido said he didn't want to go to the police. He'd rather just be a good neighbor and doesn't have issues with the majority of the people in Rivergrove. But some clearly don't want them there. And Guido says that it stems from the stigma people have towards trailer parks.
Well, there's no doubt at one time trailer parks had that stigma. We tried to change that, first of all, by changing our name from Northgate Trailer Park to Rivergrove Mobile Home Estates, right? We put in beautiful homes. They don't look anything like a mobile home. They're, if you drive through the park, you'll see that this isn't your typical mobile home. And neither are there's no trailer park movies being filmed here. So it's just a very nice, quiet community.
I just want to highlight too, because we that letter that you handed to me here is it's handwritten, and it also says here the wording: "We are kindly telling you to keep your park people and their dogs out of Rivergrove." What are the residents of Rivergrove? I mean, could you reach out to any of them, or did you? Did they tell you what they think of the mobile home park?
Absolutely, Marcy. There were two very different views in the neighborhood. This is what longtime resident Daniela Castellano had to say.
I don't agree with the letter. I think it's a public place. It's a beautiful neighborhood for everyone to enjoy, and it doesn't represent all of us of how we feel living in here compared to the other area.
But another resident, Greg Ferens, feels very differently.
There is a problem. They are coming over here, the trailer park people, and with dogs, and they're letting their dog make a mess and they're not picking up, and there's signs there that's an offense. It's a bylaw. Some are following, some are not, and they're ruining it for everybody. Myself, I'm saying, hey, you're welcome here, but not with your dogs, and that because you're not cleaning up after your dogs. Simple as that. There are people in here that they were trying to get a through street coming through. They blocked it. If they had to come through, it would have been worse. I tell you.
So now we've heard from residents. What about the area city councillor?
Well, both communities are represented by North Kildonian City Councillor Jeff Brawadi. He hopes some of the issues stemming from the stalled extension of Rivergrove Drive get settled by next year. But Councillor Brawadi actually upset some of the people who live in Rivergrove Mobile Home Estates. Now, here's a clip of Councillor Brawadi at an East Kildonan Transcoda community meeting last September.
The trailer park wanted to have access to Rivergrove Drive. Yeah. And the neighborhood did not want it. Again, the trailer park is a temporary usage that, again, is transient in nature.
So how did the mobile park residents feel about those comments? You kind of already alluded to the fact some people weren't happy.
Yeah, Marcy, that comment didn't sit well with resident Joan Werman. She says it all stems from the stigmas people have about trailer parks.
I'm disappointed in our city councillor. He made a very derogatory comment last fall during a council meeting that basically said they can pack up their trailers and go. And I think that is terrible, that a city councillor would do such a terrible, terrible thing. We are people. We voted him in. Personally, I didn't. But we voted him in, and he should be representing everybody, not knocking us down.
Now, Councillor Brawadi has since taken the transient comment back, saying that residents are long-term even though their homes are movable. And he also says the attempt to connect Rivergrove Drive and the trailer park has been a difficult one, but hopes the matter can be resolved next year. Now, I asked him about the letter, and we agreed that people should be good citizens and clean up after their dogs. But he says there's an underlying tone to all of this.
In this case, there's perhaps a class difference between people living in a trailer park and the single family homes. But perhaps there's a class difference the other way. Sometimes the people living in a more modest home like a trailer are actually classier people than the people that live in the $500,000 plus homes. So it's unfortunate. And just again, everybody calm down.
Yeah, and the Rivergrove Mobile Home Estate President Guido Sarasani says despite all of this, he just wants both communities to live in harmony.
Again, majority of them in Rivergrove aren't our enemies, right? They're our friends. So it's just a token few that make it miserable for everybody else, right?
Jim, thanks for bringing this story. And I know there's, if people want to read more, they can go online.
They can, yes.
All right. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
That is the CBC's Jim Agapito.